Welcome everyone to King's Football Show. Today we are going to discuss some very interesting topics. We're going to discuss the best forward options. We are going to discuss Erling Haaland. Is he going to be a flop? Is he going to be a success? But before that, let me present to you Dan. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. As you know, I pulled my hamstring.
Yes, turning into an Arsenal player, really. Oh, you've gone really quiet all of a sudden. Yeah, it's better. No, I can't. Sorry, I can't hear you. I wonder if the chat can hear you.
Let me check my audio. Hello, hello.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, good. Good. Let me use the other mic then. So yeah, let's see who's in the building. What is Moss saying? He's getting distraction. Maybe that's why he's late. We got Alpha in the building. We got Alpha Evening Boys. First show I'm tuning into live. So let's see what we have. We got Matt Thornton. Yo, big up Realist. Yeah. So first of all, guys, yesterday I was on 68 subs. Today I'm on 127. So big up to each and every one of you who sub to the channel. And we got Moss in the building. How you doing, Moss?
Hey,
Rocking
Yeah.
some Arsenal
Lately,
beer.
I heard.
nice.
What? Your sound is going on.
Yeah, King, I think you've gone off again.
Working on these rankings.
It's the classic technical issues. I think we're leading the show here, boss.
We're in the show. We're in the show.
Yeah.
Did you
How you
start?
doing?
Pretty good. I finally meet you in person, Daniel.
Well, not quite in person, but through this,
Sort of.
it's all right. Yeah. Are
Man, I was
you?
down at the pub. There's so many distractions, and buddy
Yeah.
Trev going to the game with tomorrow. We're talking about what we were meeting and stuff like that.
Oh,
Had to
nice.
get a
Yeah,
nice beer.
of course. And he's back. No, he's not. He is King. Your mic's still off.
Your plug in or what?
You're very quiet.
Or maybe
That's
your
all I'm getting.
Bluetooth goes off or what? Or what? He's got a wire.
Yeah, you're still on mute. You might want to restart this stream or something.
His connection. You can hear me good?
Yeah. Can hear you. It's just King.
Can you hear me now?
Bobby's in there.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry, guys. We've been having some mare with my audio today. But yeah, we are live today. So the first topic today, we are going to discuss Alexander Lacazette. Was he a hit or was he a
Whoa.
miss at Arsenal Football Club? And the reason why we're discussing this topic because Dan, believes that Lacazette had a good spell, and
Yeah.
I think different. So let's go with Dan first. What's your view on Alexander Lacazette?
Me?
It's a difficult one because obviously now we've got Gabriel Jesus, who's clearly a world class striker. Like he's clearly probably the best striker we've had in a while, and I'd say Lacazette probably doesn't come close. Obviously, we've only seen Jesus in pre-season, but even from seeing him at City, it's just he's a better striker. The thing with Lacazette, as a number 9, I understand you're expected to get goals, which is something he didn't do. But it wasn't just the goals that he brought to Arsenal. I think we've heard from Saka and Smith Rowe how important Lacazette was. So I think it's stuff off the pitch as well that world-class striker. Yeah, not Lacazette. I'm saying Jesus. I
He's
think
a United fan. Don't worry. Really like to troll people.
of course. Yeah, again, 50 million Lacazette. Yeah, I understand. You could spend that money on someone else to kind of do what he did to the youngsters. But I think he got that player of the season award a few seasons back. And I also think when we signed him, he was brought in to be that main number 9. And then obviously we signed Aubameyang after, and it kind of took the limelight, I think, away from Lacazette. And that might have been a decision that was it Sven Mislintat might have wanted to do back then. So maybe it was a bit unfair on Lacazette.
But
I wonder what you think.
For me, when I look back at Alexander Lacazette, we bought him to have an improvement on Olivier Giroud. And for me, he's not better than Giroud. And I feel like even if we look at the things that or a lot of people rate about him, like his link-up play, his hold-up play, Giroud is better than that. I think Giroud, even in the box, he's more clinical and had a better goal ratio than Alexander Lacazette. Yes, Lacazette was very committed to the club. He worked hard, he pressed, but ultimately, he wasn't good enough. And we went backwards. At least when we had Giroud, we were getting into the Champions League every year. We were still winning FA Cups. But with Lacazette, I felt like Arsene Wenger never trusted him, and he always complained about his fitness. And if you remember, he used to take him off quite early in games. And 6 months later, we bought Aubameyang, and we still try to play Aubameyang on the flank sometimes, and like I said, up top. But he had that one good season under Unai Emery, and then after that, for me, it was more downhill. And I felt like the last 1.5 seasons, it was like his legs were gone, which for me was shocking because he's just 30 or 31. He's not that old, but he looked like he was an old man.
I think
so. Yeah.
So this season that's just been the last year, we all kind of, a lot of us thinking Lacazette didn't have a great season. I think he got 4 goals or something like that, which obviously is not good enough as our number 9.
Yeah.
But he got a lot of assists, and I think he did make our other players play a lot better as well. And I think the first half of the season, I think he actually had a very good season. And it was only there were a couple of games where I think the team in general just didn't have. I think it might have been the Palace and the Southampton and the Brighton game where he just didn't show up. And I think from there, it's a difficult one. I think it's something to do with. Yeah, go on.
For me, when I look at Laka, the money we spent on him, and if you look like 5 years ago, 50 million, you spend that on a striker to take you to the next level. And for me, he didn't do that, and that's why he's a miss. It doesn't mean that he didn't have good spells or I didn't appreciate, but for me, what I was expecting from him, he didn't live up to that. And we then look at how much we spent on Giroud, I think we spent like 14 million on Olivier Giroud. And you look at how good he was for us, and you look at Lacazette. For me, like he cost more than the double, and we can't say that he was even better than him.
And this time there are worries over potential draft.
Do you think that Aubameyang was a hit?
I think, Oba was a hit for when we signed him up until he renewed his contract. He was a hit.
What the hell?
Obviously, with everything that happened, when he signed him, and him not living up to his value, him falling out with the manager, him getting late to the North London derby, for me, that was unacceptable.
That's the thing. I think there's a lot more that Aubameyang didn't do that makes Aubameyang less of a hit than Lacazette. I think in terms of when you compare the two, there's not much in it. So I personally, like, from the time that I've been watching Arsenal the last few seasons, I preferred Lacazette to Aubameyang. And I actually thought Lacazette was the better player to Aubameyang.
Yeah, I'm more along that lines.
Yeah, fine.
I think
so let's move on
to the team. But yeah.
Great. Let's move on to the next topic.
Really?
So I'm gonna start with you, Moss. Oh yeah, you didn't. Yeah, what's your view on Laka? Sorry.
I got no points of view, I guess. Eh?
Nah, spirit.
No, I'm kind of in between you both because I think you're both right and you're both kind of wrong. I just think we were so mixed up with the end of Wenger and the Emery years. It's not really fair. And Aubameyang and came in and he was kind of banging and a hit when Lacazette really needed to be playing when he was in the bench a lot and he was still in his prime. And then, yeah, you guys are both kind of right that he was losing his legs towards the end, you know? And to be fair, the start of the year, I was on with Super Kev Campbell, Highbury squad, and he agreed, or was that it might have been Harry's show. Yeah, whatever. And he totally agreed. He's like, we need to play them both. And I was like, that's what I was saying. And he agreed. And then we finally did it a week or two later, and we started doing good. And then, and then the old Aubameyang troubles. And that's where I'm with you, Daniel, is the thing that Lacazette brings and that what our young guys needed to see is a pro like him in his prime and what he does and the professionalism he's bringing to the team. And Aubameyang's a complete opposite. He's a complete teenager.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's quite a failure, but yeah, he should have did a lot more.
It's not even a failure. It's more like for the money we spent on him, was he a hit or was he a miss?
Needed to do more, but he wasn't getting the opportunities either.
I don't think he was definitely a miss. I wouldn't say he was a huge hit. I think when you compare him to Jesus, there is levels of difference. I know Realist doesn't agree.
The chat, we are going to ask you. Was Alexander Lacazette a hit or a miss for Arsenal Football Club?
Hey, if you gave me admin, I'd be putting the poll up right now.
Yeah, you can put it up. No worries. I'll see what I can.
We'll do that.
Yeah, I don't even know how to add admins. Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn.
I'll show you.
But yeah, next topic, yeah. And I'm gonna ask you a question, and you're going to tell me if you think the player is gonna be successful or if he's gonna be a flop, and tell me your reason why. So let's start with Darwin Núñez. Moss.
He's a hit. I mean, I think, and we were thinking about it as well, and people talking in that January window when we were after Vlahovic and Núñez, and I'm like, man, and I think Tariq was talking about him earlier on in the season, and I'm like, man, his value and the bidding war that's going to go on for him, it's going to go up. And you can see Liverpool right away when he was available just went big. And it's maybe a bit much money right now, but man, you're going to see this season and with Uruguay, he's got huge potential. He's really good.
What about you, Dan?
Yeah, I think they spent a lot of money on him. And I'm not sure they're necessarily going to get exactly that back. However, I do think he's going to be good for them, and you can see he scored already in the Charity Shield. I think he will score plenty of goals along with Salah. I think the main thing.
He's got Firmino, who's been in the Premier League, a fellow South American, to learn off of too. Like it's going to help him a lot.
Yeah, year. Exactly. I think the main thing for Liverpool, which is why I think Núñez might not do as well, is Sadio Mane leaving. Because I think had Mane stayed and Núñez gone in between him and Salah, I think it would be a different story. I think Diaz is a great player. I think Jota are, but I'm not sure they are the kind of players that will make the best out of Núñez.
Yeah, I think I'm on you there, because for me, I wonder now if Núñez, Diaz, and Salah plays, who's gonna link up? I feel like they are three players who wants to play for themselves. You know, when Liverpool had Firmino and Sadio Mane, they are two players who are not selfish. You know, they like to play that through ball. They like to play the assist. They like to link up and pass. And we saw even when Mane went more central that he linked up very well with Diaz and Salah. And for me, Núñez, he's more of a, even though he's tall and he's quite big, I don't see him as a link-up player. He's more someone who likes to run behind
I was King, did you watch the Ajax, the Champions League? Maybe that's why Ten Hag wanted to buy him so bad. Ajax Benfica. Ajax literally had 85% of the ball, and he was on his own, and he was amazing. Like without the ball, just running and power and making it difficult, and that's what he brings. But I mean, Liverpool won't be like that. He won't even have to do that much, you know. And yeah, I think Firmino is going to help him a lot to really get control of the Premier League and how it is to play at Liverpool, play that center spot. And they still have Jota too, like another wonderful player.
Yeah. And they've signed that kid from Fulham as well, Cavallero, who's got a lot of talent. So they are going to be strong this season.
He's going to score goals. Yeah, he's going to score goals. We will see if he's going to improve them and if he's going to live up to his price tag, but he's definitely going to score goals. And one thing with Jurgen Klopp as well, he very rarely gets it wrong with his signings. So that's why.
Look how good Luis Diaz looks now.
Now let's move on to the main man himself, the more controversial topic, Erling Haaland. I'm gonna start with you on this one, Dan. Hit or miss?
I don't. Can I be on the fence?
No, you have to. Go on. Say,
you know, Moss won't be offensive there on this one.
I think obviously he's a quality player, as shown in the Champions League and for Dortmund. But what I keep going back to is Jadon Sancho. Him at Dortmund, everyone was saying he's a world-class winger. He's 10 times better than Saka and all that kind of stuff. And then we see Sancho come to United and he's just not the same player. He hardly makes the England squad. And so it's the step between the Bundesliga and the Premier League, which I think is massive. And so with Haaland, he might be this unbelievable striker in the Bundesliga and can, score goals in the Champions League like anything else. But the Premier League is a different animal. And that's the thing with Manchester City as well, is that they're not used to a striker like Haaland. They've played with Aguero for many seasons. And I'd say out of the strikers that City have, Alvarez is the most similar to Aguero. So putting someone like Haaland into a team like that is gonna take City time to actually, I think, to get on board with Haaland. I think eventually, come midway, half the season, I think Haaland will start scoring goals. But I don't think he's going to come out straight away with goals against West Ham and Bournemouth. I struggle to see. Another thing is when I saw the cup final, the Charity Shield, Haaland got plenty of chances. So it's nothing about the creativity and creating for him, but he couldn't take any of them. He had a shot from 5-6 yards out and it hit the bar. And there's something about Haaland. Maybe he's kind of too big to work. I don't know what your take on it. There's something about Haaland. I don't think he's going to do as well as everyone says he is.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, for me, when it comes to Haaland, I think because of Pep Guardiola, for me, he's the best manager in the world. And he always changed his style of play, always try to, if he has one style of play this season, next season, he's going to bring something else. And I think he had a plan. He knows what Haaland is good at, and he knows what Haaland is not good at. So, like you said, I think it's going to take a bit time for him to get used to a team who's not a counter-attacking team like Dortmund, who's a very ball possession-based team who likes to press a lot, who have a lot of movement.
That's the thing, is Haaland a presser? Like, Jesus,
no, he's not. He's not a presser.
Is the best
he's not a presser
in the league.
But then again, in theory, Jesus fits City more than he fits than Haaland. But again, Jesus was never the main man. So I think Haaland, because of City are so good and they create so many chances, I can't see him not being a hit. It will be a different City, and he will have to adjust and learn to press as well. Aguero was not a presser. Pep gave him an ultimatum: either you have to learn to press, or I'm gonna sell you. And he learned how to press. So Haaland is young. He's physical. He's strong. He's fast. He's gonna have to learn how to press. I think his first season, I can see him score maybe 15 to 18 goals, and I think maybe the season after, that's when we're gonna start seeing him scoring your 20 goals upwards. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fair enough.
I think he'll be all right. So,
Sweden
what's
down
your
playing.
view on Haaland, Moss? Is he gonna be a hit or a miss?
Yeah, he's Norwegian. Come on, from a Swede. What are we talking here? We and
I
King,
know your view on Haaland.
yeah, me and King, we were watching Norway Sweden, so he got to see what the real power force
Yeah.
is of the
You want to
Scandinavian line.
remind me?
Norway. Yeah, I've said it for years. And in the chat, Tariq is right. He needs to work on his link up play. That's probably the only thing. He's good at looking in behind the defenders. He's great power, great speed, just great finishing, both feet. It's unreal.
Yeah.
He's meant for the Premier League. And King, you can probably attest as well. Like Canada, like Sweden, like Norway. Everyone grows up, they love the Premier League, and his dad played in the Premier League. He's absolutely gonna eat this up and love it. People calling him to be a flop is unreal. Like Matt Thornton is saying it, guys in the chat are saying it, Peeny's saying it. He's gonna score, and then by this next season, he's really gonna be cooking. And Pep probably wishes he had the amazing Arteta there, because look how many great strikers he's made at Man City, and Haaland would be very good with Arteta on how to get that link up play really going.
Do you think Haaland's scoring more than Nunes this season?
They're going to be about the same almost, but I think Haaland a bit more.
I can see Haaland score a bit more. And the reason why I think Haaland will score a bit more, because I think he will have more minutes than Nunes. Because I think when Joe plays
there's
back,
going to be times, King, where Alvarez and him both play together. Alvarez,
100%. People are sleeping on Alvarez, in my opinion.
I was just today talking to a guy from Buenos Aires. I'm River Plate fan. He's Buenos Aires, and he was absolutely raving how good Alvarez is. Just a sensation.
I think my personal take is I think Alvarez will have a better season than Haaland.
Yeah, that's a shout. I'm just going to read a few comments from the chat. Big up everyone who's tuned into the show. Tariq is saying Trent whipping balls for this guy is going to make him eat. Salah got plenty of assists too last season. Fair play. Black and Blanco 101. Big up yourself. Thank you for tuning in. He's saying Haaland does it at international level. Premier League will suit him. It is if the City way of play suits him is the bigger question for me. He has to get the press, etc. And Matt Thornton, big up Matt, is saying Haaland is gonna smash it. Elite level striker still misses chances, and that's a fair play. I think a lot of people who make big assumptions from one game are gonna get surprised. Like even Cristiano Ronaldo in his prime,
playing with KDB and Silva, King, it's gonna be amazing. Like they're so good at those little through balls, and he loves those.
And the thing as well with Man City is that they are usually slow starters. I remember even a couple of seasons ago, we beat them in the Community Shield 3-0. But after 2-3 weeks, when they get up to tempo, they are a machine. And I think that's when we're going to see the best out of Haaland. Probably
King, like our team, they were smart and got their deals done early. Hey, and so they're getting ready. They're going to be ready.
Yeah, so Tariq is saying Haaland scores 1 out of 4 shots he takes. Haaland will probably get 5 shots a game on average. Yeah, that's
a few headers.
Matt is saying he made so many good runs against Liverpool. Yeah, KDB couldn't find him. Once they gel, he's gonna smash it. I agree to that. He's a beast. And big up Hano, Coach Carter. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Make sure you subscribe to Tariq's channel. He's saying big up King, big up my guy. And let's see here. And Realist is saying amazing Arteta. Realist is trolling us in the chat. And big up everyone who's tuned in. We got 13 people who are live. I love it. Big up to all of you. So let's move on to Gabriel Jesus. Dan, hit or miss?
This is a no-brainer. It's a hit. the way he's come in, even in pre-season, and scored gazillion goals. Like it's also not just the goals. He brings a winning mentality to the team, which I think is really important. He presses like mad. He just keeps running. You can already see his link up with Martinelli and Saka, and that front three excites me. And I love Emil Smith Rowe, but I'm struggling to see him come back into this team. But that's what excites me. I don't mind having those dilemmas. But in terms of Jesus, I just think he's going to be a different animal. And my prediction, my bold prediction, is Jesus to get.
Big up TM. We got lots of menus in the house.
Yeah. So
Jesus to get top scorer this season.
for Arsenal or the league?
The league.
Wow. How many goals do you reckon he will score?
In the Prem, 25.
Oh, even
Wow,
more than
that's
that.
a big statement.
I said
Heaney
25.
is saying,
all
Jesus are
comps,
getting
but
around 24 goals.
20 in the Prem, I said.
Yeah, I said
No,
20
actually,
in the Prem.
What might let him down? I don't think he's going to take penalties. I think that's on Saka.
Yeah.
So maybe not 25, maybe 22 or something. That's what I'll
Yeah.
go for.
Yeah, who will be for sure our pens? I would almost pick Jesus.
Saka's, I would keep it with Saka because of
Lately, Saka
he
looks pretty
scored
cool.
3 out of 3 penalties, and
Yeah.
it's been against City and
Yeah,
Chelsea.
he's perfected it now.
No, sorry, United and Chelsea.
Yeah, but then he had Martinelli scoring one at the end of last season as well. So
Yeah.
I mean, we're building who
But
can
it's
take.
good
And if
now. We got good penalty shooters, and
if
that's
Ainsley
good.
Maitland-Niles stays as well, we've
Yeah,
got him
yeah,
to jam one
yeah.
out.
Big up CM as well. Big up everyone who's tuned in from
Make it.
Twitch as well. I love it. 16 people live must be a record for me, man. Big up all of you. So yeah, Moss, what you saying? Gabriel Jesus.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was saying, 24, 25, all the comps, Daniel. And then, about 20 goals, 9 assists in the Prem.
Yeah.
My call.
Yeah, Matt is saying I would take 25 in all comps. I reckon 15 in the league. Yeah, I think Jesus will score between 15 to 20 goals in Premier League.
I think
now,
Eddie might be playing Europa a bit, hey?
Yeah.
If that's 15 in the league, that's what roughly. Trying to think how many games there are. That's like one every 2 to 3 games. I think Jesus is scoring more than that.
I think he would get a lot of assists as well. I think he will provide Martinelli and Saka with goals. I think they're gonna run behind a lot, and he's good at linking up as well. But yeah, listen, 15 to 20 goals. If he scores that, he adds another 5 to 10 assists. It's a very good season. So the next player is Kamaka. I'm gonna start with you, Moss. Hit or miss?
Yeah. I think it's a hit barely overall because he's going to make Antonio a lot better. And West Ham overall will be better because of it. But I don't think he'll get a ton of goals, though.
Yeah. Big up talk. Yeah, we've got 130 subscribers, man.
Wow.
Thank you to all of you. It's amazing. I haven't had this channel even for a month. To have that amount of subscribers.
Doubled me in no time.
Wow, honestly. And it's up to all of you who've been on the panel, all of you who share the content, all of you, who supports me. And I'm so happy, and I feel so honored, honestly. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, it's amazing
sorry.
what you've done. Such a new channel, and 130 subscribers. Let's keep that up.
Yeah. So yes, Kamaka, Moss, what are you saying? How many goals do you think he will score in Premier League?
Yeah, only like 10, 12. But I think his effect of Moyes will be able to play his style a little more. And it's really going to unleash Antonio a bit more. Because you could just see Antonio was doing way too much work on his own. Realist, you need the church thing downstairs that's going on, big party at my hotel. You can go hang down there, man. Oh, yeah, you can't fly, so forget it. But yeah, Scamacca overall will be a hit just because he's going to get West Ham playing the style they want to play. And I mean, Man U, Chelsea, Tottenham, I'd watch out. Hammers have done some nice business. Kostic, man, what was the one today?
Cornet from Cornet from
Yeah,
Burnley.
Cornet came in too. Like,
Oh,
really nice.
yeah.
I think they're still working on Onana too, and
They're building a very strong squad.
Yeah.
Kostic and
I think
Kamaka. Nice stuff.
a lot of people are sleeping on West Ham. They mean
Uh,
serious business.
Man,
I'll tell you something. I have
They're
them
taking
finishing
Chelsea or
fourth.
Man U. They're taking one of them down.
Sorry, Dan, what did you say?
I have them finishing fourth this season. I think they're doing
Wow.
absolute bits in the market. And
I was almost
they-
going to do that.
if they
Wow.
keep Declan Rice, which they are, Jared Bowen, they are some team. I think we need to watch out for West Ham.
Yeah, fair play. So what do you make of Skamaka? Do you think he'll be a hit, a miss?
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen the guy play. I don't know much about him. But all I do know is obviously Mikel Antonio is their guy, is their main man. But he can't play that much. He gets injured. So the fact they brought in another number 9 is only going to improve. I think. Is Antonio fit right now? Like, who plays against City up front?
I
Antonio's
think
fit.
Kamaka has a bit of a niggle, so like I think Antonio's starting. But King, what do you think? Like, when they're both going and healthy, are they both gonna play, or are they just gonna?
No, but the
relieve
thing
each
is
other?
with Antonio is that he cannot play every game. Is physically.
But like, are they gonna take
his
each other
body-
off and switch?
I think what's
games,
gonna
or-
happen here is
Oh.
that Antonio will start in the beginning of the season, and the longer we go, they're gonna bet in Skamaka, and he's gonna have a big part probably at the end of the season. And I think it's smart business. I think he will do well. You know, they still got players like Benrahma, like Fornals. Kostic is linked as well to West Ham, so it's like they have a very good attacking force now. I think what they were struggling last season was they didn't have like a squad. They had a very good first 11, but they didn't have that squad depth. But now, like they've addressed
Yeah.
that, it looks good for West Ham. Like they can have a big season.
Have they
Big
added?
up Crab.
Crab's
saying,
in the house.
Do you know much about their defender they've signed? I think it's Aguerd or something.
I don't
Yeah,
know
he-
much about him, but I've heard a lot of good. Like when I've read the stats, and from what I've heard about him, he's a very good prospect. He's gonna do well. He's gonna do well for West Ham.
Yeah, I think
I do
people
think
aren't
so.
looking at
Kostic
West
is
Ham.
really good. Kostic is a really good player. Really good, like crosser, everything.
Yeah. And the last striker before we move into the FPL content is Undav for Brighton. Let's
I
start
don't
with
know this
you
guy
this
much.
time, Dan. What do you think? Is he gonna be a hit or a miss? You know, Brighton are the XG, best XG team probably in the Prem.
So
I think I read something like Trossard missed 39 big chances last season.
King,
You know, go on.
sorry, Daniel. Undav, Welbeck, Maupe, they're all forwards, right? In FPL and in real, right?
Yeah.
And then, but last year, Trossard a lot of times end up being, a forward. So
Yeah,
is
because
Undav going
well-
to be the starter or what?
Yeah. The only reason why Trossard was playing centre forward was because Welbeck had fitness issues, Mope had
Yeah.
fitness issue, and Mope was missing
I
a
don't
lot
like
of
Mope.
chances as well.
I don't like
Ah.
Maupe.
Are you moving like Ty? You're a disgrace.
You want Brighton to get relegated? Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean in pre-season you've seen all three play. I think Welbeck played the last game, but it's funny. As soon as FPL opened, the first player I put into my team was Undav. I don't know what it was. It just
Really?
he excited me. I don't have him anymore, but the first draft had Undav for a cheap striker. He's someone I think will start for Brighton, and like you said, with their XG so high, I can't see him not scoring and not doing well. But then again, you have Neil Maupay, who done bits in the Championship and comes to the Premier League and gets given these chances and doesn't take them. So yeah, I think Crab's right. I think he's a disgrace, and I think Undav is someone to kind of take the reins, and I think he's one to watch this season.
Yeah. Very quickly, Moss. Any extra word?
I
on
don't. Yeah,
Undav?
not too many feelings on Undav. I watch a lot of Belgian league, but I didn't even notice him, to be honest, that much. And
Yeah,
I
he had a
really,
big.
I really fancy Trossard. He's really good at playing that false nine. Like
Yeah, but he doesn't score. That's what I say. He missed 39 big chances.
he's
The
he's
problem with Brighton
creating.
all these years has been they don't score enough goals.
And Welbeck always has his little run at the end of the seasons and makes you think, oh, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I ask you about another striker? I know he's
Yeah, of
not
course.
a new. I know he's
Yeah.
not a new signing, but Mitrovic. Do you think
Yeah,
he's doing
back
well
up
this
in the
season?
Prem, hey, yeah, back. Second
I
trout.
think, if I'm honest, yeah, and this is my FPL mind talking, I think Mitrovic will struggle
I agree.
because I feel like he suits the championship so good. Do you remember a couple of seasons ago, Newcastle had that striker who always did well for them when they were in the championship, but as soon as they
Happens
came
a
up to the
lot.
Premier League, he couldn't do it. And I don't think he's good enough for the Premier League. And the thing is, because the Premier League is so much faster and more technical than the Championship, he struggles. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if I would be surprised if he scored more than 7 goals. I don't think he'll score more than 7 goals.
I agree. I think the fact he plays for Fulham as well.
Yeah,
Really, at the end of the day, they are Fulham, and I can't see Fulham doing that well this season. I don't. It
They
looks like
made
they're on
some.
a bit.
They made
they're in a
some
bit of tunnel.
comments with their money. They
yeah.
made.
Dwight
They made
Gale,
some good saves.
big up Matt. Yeah, if you remember Dwight Gale, he always smashed it in the Championship, and as soon as he came up to the Prem, he couldn't do it. I feel
Yeah.
like he's a similar kind of player.
So are you getting Pookie vibes?
Danny Ings,
Yeah,
like Shea Adams, he's gonna put himself about. He'll get a few headers, but yeah, it's gonna be hard to score on Premier League.
Yeah.
teams for him.
if there was a level between Championship and Premier League, maybe if he went to
MLS.
like a League team or even maybe even Italy, I think he would be semi decent there.
Yeah. Or even if I kind of think if Mitrovic came to Arsenal, for example, and was
He
like
would do
that,
better.
that he was that Plan B striker,
Impact.
and we were
Yeah.
able to
He'd
bring
do
him
that.
on.
Yeah,
You never know. He'd actually probably score more than starting for Fulham every game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
we got a good question here from Peeny before we move on. If
Oh,
Aubameyang goes to Chelsea, how many goals? Moss, you first.
this guy just needs to go away. German league. He needs some Rob Holding hair transplants. It looks like too, but
Ooh, Moss with the shots.
I just got so sick of him. And you want to talk about needing chances to score. The Emery years, first start Arteta years, everyone's like, oh, he's scoring so many goals. Well, man, it would be 5, 6, 7 chances and miss sitters half the time. You know, I don't. He's not a pure striker. He's good if he's on a Barcelona and playing the wing. Yeah, he's pretty good then. But or Dortmund, you know, that kind of style. Bayern, he'd do good there. But nah, he's even if he comes to Chelsea, they're such a mess. You know, who knows? Are they going to play Havertz? Are they going to play Werner? Who are they going to play up top there?
They
No.
need a proper number 9, and I don't
Yeah.
think Aubameyang
And
is
they
that
bought
number 9.
one for I think 99 million, Wayne Gretzky there, and that didn't work out.
Yeah, I
Tuchel
mean,
doesn't know what he's doing with strikers.
the reason
I
why
don't think
Lukaku
Chelsea do.
struggle at Chelsea is because he can't link up with the other attacking players, and Aubameyang is not a link-up striker. So
Just adding to
I
the mess.
agree. I don't think he will score more than 10 goals.
I think if he
Probably.
does go to Chelsea, I'm taking that off my wall.
Yeah, you have to.
Is that him there? What?
That is Aubameyang because I won that.
You know, I nearly got his name on the back. I got the number
Wow.
14, but I didn't go with him.
Man, and I love Giroud, and then we let him go to Chelsea. That was a killer.
Yeah, I know.
I go to the European Cup in Baku, and he kills us. I was devastated, man.
I do have Aubameyang on the back of one of my kits. So if he goes to Chelsea, I'll be a bit annoyed.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, and big up to everyone who's still tuned in. We are now going to move on to the FPL content. So, guys,
Oh man, I was
your
only in
top
months.
6 strikers for the first 6 game week. We will start with
Like
you,
each week.
Dan.
So, I think I strikers this season is something different to what we've normally seen because there's so many strikers that have come in. Obviously, you've got Haaland and Nunes. Jesus has moved to obviously play more minutes. Harry Kane's still there. There's a lot of strikers, and I think they're going to do a lot better than previous seasons in terms of 6 strikers. I think will do well. I'd say I'll start with the obvious. I think Gabriel Jesus will start off flying. I think tomorrow we might see a goal or two. This is a bit of a biased hat on, but I can't see Jesus not being one of those top 6 strikers. So I think Jesus is one. The other one, I hate to say it, is Harry Kane. He's not going in my team. I know he's in yours, King. But
Jeez.
I think when you look at who Spurs have got as well in the first 6 games, I think they've got
Only
all
beat.
they've kind of got all bottom
Hey,
10
Vargas.
teams, but they got
Yeah, big up,
Chelsea.
Vargas. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Kane's doing well. Someone that's not looked on enough, I think, is Jamie Vardy, especially if he starts, which I think he will do. They've got quite easy games, and I know second he's got Arsenal, but he always
He
scores
didn't even
against us.
started. Daka, Ian Nacho.
I think Vardy starts. I think
Yeah, I
Vardy
think
starts the
for at
season
least
off.
the start he does. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I think already you've got Kane and Vardy and Jesus, and then I want to say Haaland, but I want to stick with my kind of what I said before. I just don't think he's going to start off well. I think Haaland, come the end of the season, will be someone everyone will have in their team, but to start with, I wouldn't put him in.
Okay.
So someone else I think might do quite well is I actually think Darwin Núñez is going to start off well.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I just think they've got
So,
they've
guys,
got some good games. So yeah, I mean
if you
they're
look at
4.
Jesus,
Yeah,
his
start
first
off.
6 fixtures are
So
Crystal
King, I
Palace.
thought you meant, of course, Moss. I was making it harder than maybe it should have been.
Yeah.
I was thinking you wanted me to rank the top 6 for each week.
Oh, no. So what I meant is,
You
guys,
meant overall
for the
the
first 6 game week of
who's the best 6?
FPL, who's your best 6 pick center forward? And if you look at Gabriel Jesus, he's facing Crystal Palace,
Yeah, we got a good
Leicester,
schedule.
Bournemouth, Fulham, Aston Villa, and Man United. And these are very favorable fixtures for a center forward. So I
Okay,
agree
I
with
got
that
it
one.
ready then.
If you look at Harry Kane, who Dan also mentioned, Spurs are playing Southampton, Chelsea. Kane always score in London derbies. Wolverhampton, Nottingham Forest, West Ham United, another London derby, and Fulham, another London derby. So you can expect a lot of goals from Harry Kane. Another one who you mentioned, I think, was Jamie Vardy, right?
Yeah,
Jamie Vardy is playing against Brentford, Arsenal. He loves to score against us. Southampton got a
Not
leaky
this one.
defense.
Not with
Chelsea,
Saliba.
yeah, he got a good record against top 4 teams, Man United and Brighton. So yeah, guys, Jamie Vardy can be a differential. If you look, he's only owned by 5% of the FPL community. So if you want a differential at centre forward, Jamie Vardy at 9.5 million could be a gem.
I don't think Leicester. I think Leicester's struggling.
Who were the other? You said Nunez as well.
I said
So
Darwin
let's
Núñez. Yeah, there's one more.
let's go for the Derby.
So Ronaldo starting.
David.
Is Ronaldo
One
starting?
second. 1 second. We'll move to Ronaldo soon. So Liverpool are facing Fulham. You can see Darwin score a couple of goals. Crystal Palace, Man United, Liverpool always better Man United. I'm sorry, realists. I know that one is gonna hurt. Bournemouth got 8 injuries. So guys, if you want FPL tips, target Bournemouth, Newcastle, and Everton.
A
So
Bournemouth and
yeah,
Norwich of last season.
yeah. I 100%, 100%. This season, if you like me look a lot about fixtures, Bournemouth is one of the teams that you should target. Fulham is another one that's obvious. And if you look at attackers, you know, Leicester always concede a lot of goals. Another team you can target. So for me, the teams that have come up from Championship and Leicester, those teams you should target them. They
Black
leak
and
a lot
white.
of goals. Leeds is another one who concedes a lot of goals.
Well,
And
speaking
yeah,
of teams that come up, Forest is another one, and the team that are playing Forest in the first week is Newcastle. And
yeah,
I think Callum Wilson might score a
ah,
hat trick in the first game.
good.
I'm so
Hey,
excited
I
about.
had that guy written down.
All right,
Yeah,
so Wilson is Dan's last tips, and you can see they play Nottingham Forest, then they play Brighton. They have one tough game against Man City at
Whoa.
home, and then it's Wolves, Liverpool, and Crystal Palace. So yeah, you can see if Wilson get 4 to 5 goal returns, it's good. It's good. You have to remember, guys, strikers do not score in every game. So you have to look at who are they playing, and if you have a good bench option, sometimes you can even rotate them. And
Hey
Callum Wilson
King.
is someone else who's very low owned. Only 3.4% owns him.
Hey
Yeah,
King. On an FPL technical question,
yeah.
i- isn't it a thing that when you get the penalty, you get an assist or something, or what?
So what it is, yeah, I'll explain. That's actually a good thing that you took. So let's say Arsenal are playing, and Martinelli gets fouled in the opposition box, and
Yeah,
Arsenal gets
I've
handed
heard it
a
both ways.
penalty, a penalty, and Saka scores it. Martinelli gets an assist.
Okay, that's
So
what
they,
I thought. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. So who's your top six, Moss?
Yeah, you made it easier. I was trying to do every week, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, no, every week that's a lot.
But yeah, some of my questions were: is Ronaldo going week one, and is Bamford ready week one?
Bamford is ready. He scored 2 goals in their latest games, so Bamford
And
is
he
ready.
having him in the lineup that really makes Leeds team work. Hey, like they were so awful last year. They didn't have him or Calvin Phillips. They were terrible without them.
Yeah,
And
they had a lot of
I
injuries.
think they're really, and I don't like Americans, but man, Adams, Aronson, Sinistera, they've made quality signings too with the money they made on sales. And I don't know, Leeds could be good. So yeah, Bamford kind of gets an honorable mention for me.
Okay,
It's
so we can look at Bamford here. So you can see he's playing against
it's a good
Wolverhampton,
schedule, yeah.
wow.
Southampton. Southampton also a team you should target. Chelsea, Brighton, Everton, another team to target, and Brentford.
I
So yeah,
think
it's
without
and
Hey
and
King, I think
and
without
actually Nottingham
Schmeichel,
Forest.
I think without Schmeichel, Leicester's a team to target.
Yes. Yeah. I did mention Leicester. Yeah, they are. They are. So as you can see, Bamford only 1.3% owns him, and the schedule looks very tempting.
How much does he cost
Very
there?
tempting. 7.5 million.
Jeez, that's
The
not
issue
the
with the issue with Bamford is I've watched a lot of Leeds in the last few seasons, and he's very hit and miss. He
yeah.
can
It's always
he
pulling a
can be,
Yeah,
hammy.
yeah, he is.
yeah, and he can. So with the eye test,
I need
it's
to
someone
see
that
him.
I
I
just
need to
wouldn't
see
go
him
near.
week one. Yeah.
Especially without Rafinha this season, I think it might be very different. So I probably wouldn't put him in straight away, but if he scores one or two in the first game or two, then for sure it is someone to look with those
Do you want to?
fixtures.
Do you want to just hear my whole top six, King, or what?
Yeah. Go on. Mention them one by one, and then I can bring up the schedule.
Oh, okay. You want to go slow? Yeah. Just my honorable mentions were Ollie Watkins and Bamford, but I thought Alvarez was counting as a mid, but he counts as a forward, and I think he's gonna get some goals. So he's kind of on my 6-7 spot, and so is Callum Wilson that Daniel brought up. But my top five are Jesus, Holland.
Yeah, let's look at Haaland because we've looked at Jesus' schedule, so you guys know it now. Haaland and
See,
Man
look at his
City
schedule, man. Look at his
is
schedule.
facing West Ham.
So I have like Jesus,
Bournemouth.
Holland, both right up there.
Yeah. Let me read out the schedule. So it's West Ham, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, and you can see him score against West Ham, Bournemouth. You can see him score in many of these games. So, yeah, Haaland is a very valid pick. He's only owned by 45%, so he's gone down. He was over
I think
60% at some time, but after the Community Shield, the ownership went down. So you can see the FPL community is very
Yeah,
reactionary.
buddy.
a
I
lot
like
of people.
that you got that. I like that happened, kid. You know I did.
A lot of people are split on Kane and Haaland because they're obviously
Yeah.
the same price. So
Yeah,
it's just
I've
which
seen-
one to go for.
Man, Jesus is in everybody's lineup. It seems like.
Yeah,
But-
he's a new Premier League record.
The thing with Jesus is that I think he's like a £10 million asset for 8 million.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's a no-brainer.
That's the thing.
That's the
Good
thing.
call, Dan.
So yeah, who's your third option, Moss?
Darwin Nunez, we've talked about.
Yeah, we have.
Antonio, and then Harry
Oh.
Kane.
Oh, let's bring up Antonio. Let's
I
look at
just-
West Ham's
I love
fixture.
the guy, man. He
So
got the
far-
raw deal. All these English guys weren't coming back for Jamaica, and he was like on his own. And then West Ham getting beat up every week. I think that's why I said with Scamacca, this might make Antonio shine.
Yeah. And he's gonna get rest as well, which is good for him. So they play
Yeah.
against Man City,
Hey,
Nottingham
are
Forest.
they in the conference or what?
Yeah, they're in the Conference
They in?
League.
Okay.
Yeah, Man United. Yeah, they're in the Conference League. They
Is
finished seventh.
Antonio a risky one considering?
Yeah, he's not on my list. But looking at the schedule, Man City, then it's Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Villa,
That's what I'm talking about.
Tottenham, and Chelsea. So it's 3 quite tough games and 3 games where you could see him maybe score a couple of goals. But yeah, he's another asset that not a lot of people own, only 4.8%. And last season he started so good. I remember I owned him for 3 or 4 weeks, and he was doing so well. So you never know. With
Can I
Antonio.
suggest another striker?
Yeah, of course.
Is Ivan Toney?
Oh yeah, let's
Or-
have a look at Tony quickly.
Yeah, 'cause he's got
And
some nice fixtures.
so Brentford are playing Leicester. Leicester's defense is shocking. Man United with Maguire and Martinez is I'm sorry, realists, but targeting Man United aren't that bad in the FPL.
And Man United, the new Norwich.
could be. And then it's Fulham, Everton, Crystal Palace, Leeds, Southampton. Wow.
Yeah,
I love that schedule, honestly.
Yeah,
I might have to try and get a Brentford player in. And
Imagine
only
if,
5.4.
imagine if Jamaica played Tony and Antonio and Damari Gray. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jamaica,
would've-
get on it.
So yeah, guys, there you have it. Moss, you got 2 more players.
Well, I gave you 5, but
Oh,
I gave you also honorable mentions: Calvin Wilson, Julian Alvarez. Man City's schedule is pretty nice too. So there's going to be games where Alvarez with the subs too. He's going to sub in like every game, if not get a few matches where he starts with Holland too and get goals. So don't be scared of someone putting Alvarez on their bench to start with, and then plugging him in when after you see the eye test of how great he is.
100%.
I
For me,
think-
guys,
Go on.
my centre forward, we've mentioned probably all of them.
Oh,
Gabriel
okay.
Jesus.
King,
Yeah.
I got a question. Sorry, Wolves.
Okay.
How long's the Mexican Jimenez out? And
out.
then secondary question is Huang worth? He probably doesn't cost too much, but is he worth having on your bench? Maybe.
Let's
To
look
see how he
at Wolves' schedule. In regards to Jimenez, they haven't actually told us how long he's going to be out, but he's
Yeah,
definitely
I'm worried
out.
about him.
But isn't Huang's a midfielder?
Huang is the
isn't he?
midfielder most.
Oh,
in
he
the game.
counts as mid, but yeah, he'll
Yeah.
be up top. So I'm
Yeah, so he could
that's
be
a good
gem.
sneaky mid.
If you want a player who plays center forward but is listed as a midfielder, which means that you get an extra point for every time he scores a goal, Wang could be a
Could be one of
differential
those
option.
key
And let's
picks.
see Wolves' schedule. How does it look? So they are playing Leeds in first game, good game. Fulham second game, good game. Tottenham away, tough. Newcastle at home. Bournemouth, Southampton. They have a
Jeez.
very good schedule. So
Someone's
Huang
got to score, hey?
at 6 million, 0.4% ownership.
Do you think they could play someone else up top, Podence? Or
Yeah, they got is it Fabio Vieira? What's his name? That wonder kid
That's our
from
guy.
Portugal.
Pedro Neto and
Let me see. Let me see here.
Fabio Silva.
Yeah, Fabio
Silva.
Silva. We got Fabio Vieira.
That's our
they're, all
yeah.
such- they're like all such, behind the striker type wingers, or and now someone's got to play striker for Wolves. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm curious. Who do you think is going to be kind of like the surprise striker?
This season,
At FPL assets, yeah, FPL wise.
it could be Bamford or Alvarez.
I think, but Alvarez is listed as a midfielder. That's the
No,
problem.
He's a striker.
look,
Oh,
I thought he might have been mid too, but I looked today and he's forward.
yeah, Alvarez at 6.5, and the fact that City has, Jesus has left, Sterling has left, and
They're gonna sub
they
him
haven't
in
brought
every game.
in any wide attacking players. So Alvarez could be. I think he can be a surprise.
Good guy to have on your bench. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing, the problem with FPL is that you can only have 3 players from each team, and if
That's
Haaland
terrible.
does well, Cancelo does well. If they don't buy a left back, then Kyle
So-
Walker at 5 million is going to be a
You know how
starter.
you were having those KDB debates, King? So for people out there that are FPLers not going believing in Holland now, and you're going KDB, maybe you stick Alvarez on your bench and you see game 1 what happens. And
Pick up FPL Jesus. Do you think Jesus will be the season? Son being the second most points back.
Son still rated a mid too?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He is. Son is a mid. Salah is a mid. I think Jesus is going to have a very good season, but everybody's on Jesus, so it's not going to be surprise to people. I think Undav can be someone who's going under the radar. As we've mentioned before, Brighton creates a lot of chances, and he's a goal scorer. I think he can do well.
I had a question.
Callum Wilson, if he stays fit,
yeah,
he always scores goals.
But with Chelsea, someone's got to play striker.
Yeah,
If Aubameyang doesn't come in, their forwards are listed as Werner, Broha, and Havertz. Is Broha staying? And who's worth
Broha
being the
is
starter?
staying, but he
Havertz was a mid last year.
Yeah, but he under the radar. Big up Tariq. Good one.
I like that.
Yeah, that could be a good FPL name actually. I might go with it, Tariq.
No.
Well, speaking of which, do you have any? Sorry, it's changing topic, but do you got a funny FPL name that you're using?
I was thinking about Aaron Wannabe Saka.
In our draft league,
What about you then? Do you have a funny FPL name?
I would say it's funny, but I've gone for Blazinchenko squad.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
In my draft,
what about you, Mark?
I'm just Moss FC, but I've always kept it. I've been at so many leagues, it's crazy. But but in the draft leagues, both leagues I got Jesus and Odegaard, so I'm the Jesus Odegaards.
Yeah, and just final few tips before we end the stream. We'll be going on for almost an hour. When I look at forwards, I look a lot at the schedule because we can't predict who's going to score in the future, but we can make assumptions. So if a player is facing teams that leaks a lot of goals, then I go on that more than on form. And also in FPL last season, the value was in defense and in midfield. But I think this season we have way more options at forward. You know, we got Skamaka now, we got Nunes, we got Haaland, we got Alvarez, we got Jesus. There's so many good options. So don't, just because last season strikers didn't do well, it doesn't mean that this season they won't do well. And don't be afraid, you know, if you have a plan, a strategy that you are going for, don't be afraid to stay for it for a while, because the thing with FPL, and I always say this here, the players you pick are not gonna bang every game. But if you sell a player for a hit, that is 4 points. So let's say I have Saka, yeah, and Arsenal play a game and he doesn't score, and he gets 3 points, for one for clean sheet and two for minutes appearance. If Mount scores and I jump from Saka to Mount, that is 4 points. So if Mount doesn't score more than more than 7 points, I haven't actually made a profit in terms of FPL points. So hits are very important. Don't take too many hits, guys. And when the season starts, I know we all get excited. We all want to jump on players, but you know, you don't win FPL in the first weeks. A lot of
Especially,
people who do well in the beginning of the season tends to do bad longer on. I'm not saying, yeah,
I wanted to stress that especially in the draft leagues, you're thinking about the whole season. So don't be chopping and changing too much as you do in the budget classico type FPL, where you can chop and change. And what's your theories and thoughts on the buy and sell? Like, so many people, when guys start sucking, they sell them, and then you're selling it low, and you lose money in
I
your total team budget.
I
And
look
then
at data. So I'll give you an example. If I have an attacking player and his data is good, his XG is high,
stay with
his
it.
XA is high, then that tells me that he's getting to good opportunities and eventually he will score.
Yeah.
If his XG is going down, then that is when I'd be like, you know what, let me sell him. Or if it's going into a period where maybe you're facing Man City, Liverpool, and
But
let's
you
say,
can make money in the budget league.
yeah, you can,
It helps in the end.
you can. But guys, honestly, it's been an amazing show. Thank you to each one of you who have tuned
Whoa.
into the show as well. Yes, Moss.
The draft leagues, if people are in them, about to do them, what have you. Last year, there's just that couple weeks of the season starts and there's still the transfer window. I jumped on because Ronaldo was bought last second. Remember the whole Man City, Man U thing? And you get in the waiver wires, and then you can put in a waiver transfer request for in the draft leagues for new player signings. So then, if there's more than one owner in your league trying to get them, it'll go to waiver, like whoever was lower in the draft or who hasn't made a trade or transaction yet, you'll probably get them. So yeah, I jumped on Ronaldo right away, but look at this season with it starting earlier in September 1st, the deadline, you got to really watch the start of the year because draft league, you're building for the whole season. So you might get a great signing and you got to jump on it early on, but you always got to be thinking, don't be changing every week. Yeah, if you get a guy bad injured, of course, but you got to think differently than budget league. You got to think about the whole season and who's going to end up being the best overall against everybody.
Yeah. As you can see, guys, Moss is very passionate about the draft league. I am the one who's very passionate about the normal FPL league. So yeah, it's a good balance. So yeah, before we leave, guys, Dan, where can people find you?
Yeah, just on Twitter. I don't do it too often, but if you like what
In the
you've heard, I
Discord.
guess. Well, on obviously Tom's on the Guna Talk Discord, but yeah, find me on Twitter.
One question for you, Dan. How much have you watched of the new show here? All day I've been trying to get to All or Nothing. I keep getting distracted on the things I got to do here.
I've watched all 3 episodes.
You watched all 3? You banged them
Yeah,
out?
of course.
Oh,
of course.
man. I'm like stuck on the Man City game, or they just lost the Man City game. That's all I've seen up to so far.
It's only an hour and a half altogether or so it didn't take long.
No,
It's good stuff, though. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I have to do a reaction stream to that, I think.
Have you watched it all, King? Everything? Or just a
Got
bit?
the last episode left.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to spoil it, but we do come 5th.
Yeah. What?
I thought,
joking?
what? We lost these first 3 games? What's going on? I thought we could go back in time and maybe change it. So,
Moss, my man, where can people find you?
yeah, like it says, Foot Moss Sports Talk, as well as loving the EPL my whole life since the early 80s. And, us getting a lot more games over in North America. I've always watched every EPL game and just a lot of football. And people in my country think I'm a bit of a freak. But yeah, no, I'm crazy about all sports. I love NFL. The season's coming up with that. So if there's British guys that you're into the NBA or you're into the NFL, you want to learn more, or you stay up late, or you're into the highlights, or you're getting into your fantasy, I'm huge on NFL fantasy. I used to do it back in the day where you had to look in the paper and do all the pencil and eraser stats for fantasy back then, the way we did it, because we always had that way where you head to head, where you play against another owner. That's how we've always done it. And yeah, you can catch me on Instagram. You want to see some of the videos for tomorrow? My first reel going to an EPL away game, seeing everything. It's gonna be.
You have to send me clips. I'll load them up on the social media.
Yeah, I'll do it. Well, I'll put some of mine when I figure out how to record and put it on my channel. It's Foot Moss Sports Talk is my channel, but my Instagram, there'll be pictures, there'll be videos. It's CK Moss 16 on Instagram, and I don't do Twitter. I think it's a dark craziness hole of madness. If I went in there, I'd probably go down quickly.
I started Twitter when I started this channel, and maybe it's because I don't have a lot of followers, but I haven't seen.
Don't you agree? We get a lot of the Twitter feeds just on the Discord anyway. You don't even need to be on Twitter.
No, it's more to promote the channel. That's why.
Yeah, I know. I get you.
But if I see any hate or anything on Twitter, I just ignore it. I don't get too much into it, so I have it.
I actually have a more open mind towards Twitter now, and I like Twitter Spaces.
Elon Musk is running away like mad
over there. But yeah, guys, you can find me as well on King's Football Show. That's my name on Twitter, on Instagram, and obviously here on YouTube. Again, thank you to each and every one of you who share the content, who like the videos, who subscribe to the channel. And thank you to my guests, Dan and Moss, as well. I appreciate you guys coming on here. And sorry for keeping you for this long.
Yeah,
it was a good show. So
it is, and I hope I beat you in FPL, I think.
Yeah,
good luck. You're gonna need a lot of luck for that.
Dan and King, none of you are in the Chronicles Discord or in that their
I didn't even know he had one. But yeah,
I do, but
FPL League too.
I'm loyal to Tom. I can't be going on 2 different Discords. Yeah,
I love them both. I love when they do the shows together because they really have
2 great guys, Tom and Harry.
There's a lot of good podcasters out there.
Yeah, Tom's been a big inspiration for me as well, and he's helped me a lot. And he's doing bits. He's doing so well. So I'm happy for both of them. If I get 10% of what he's doing, I'll be a very happy man.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, we are out.
For numbers.